All right, let's jump right in. We hear about artificial intelligence all the time, right? And it's creating this fascinating paradox, especially for managers, but honestly, for all of us. On the one hand, you've got this incredible tool. On the other, a massive responsibility. That's the paradox we're digging into today.
I mean, just think about it for a second. The news feed you scroll through, the stuff that pops up when you're shopping online, AI is behind the scenes quietly shaping your world. This isn't some far-off science fiction concept. It's happening right now, every single day, crunching data to nudge you one way or another.
So that leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Can we actually trust it? As these AIs get smarter and woven deeper into our daily lives, we've got to ask, are they fair? Are they secure? Can we really, truly rely on the decisions they're making for us?
And this is really the heart of the matter. We're talking about the promise and the peril of AI. Because you see, for every amazing benefit it brings to society, it also cracks open this whole can of worms, these really serious ethical challenges that we absolutely have to pay attention to.
What's so fascinating here is that these two things are totally connected. They're like two sides of the same coin. Use huge amounts of data to make smarter decisions. That's a huge win. But bam, suddenly you have this massive privacy problem. You boost efficiency, which is great, but maybe you lose transparency along the way. It's this constant balancing act, this tightrope that managers have to walk every single day.
Okay, so let's bring this down from the clouds and talk about something I bet a lot of you have played with. I'm talking about ChatGPT. Right? The entire conversation about AI just exploded when this thing hit the scene. It went from being this abstract, nerdy concept to a tool that millions of people are using, like, right now.
So what is it really? Well, at its heart, ChatGPT is just a super advanced language model. You type in an instruction, we call that a prompt, and it spits back a response that sounds almost spooky human. It's built to be flexible and to feel like you're just chatting with it.
And the crazy thing is how many different hats it can wear. It's not just for one thing. I mean, look at this breakdown. It can be a content writer, a customer service bot that never sleeps, even a personal tutor. That's what makes it such a game changer. It's this all-purpose tool that's shaking up, well, pretty much every industry all at the same time.
But, and this is a big but, getting good results from ChatGPT isn't magic. It's actually a skill you have to learn. The quality of the answer you get depends completely on the quality of the question you ask. It all comes down to the prompt.
So how do you write a good one? It's pretty simple, actually. Just 3 key things. First, be super clear and specific. Don't beat around the bush. Tell it exactly what you need. Second, give it some context, some background info, like you're briefing a new hire. And third, tell it what format you want. A list, an email, a script. The more precise you are, the better the result you're going to get.
And here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Look at this. On one side, you ask, tell me about marketing. What are you going to get? A boring, generic textbook chapter, right? Pretty much useless. But look at the other side, a super specific prompt. Write a professional email, and so on. Now that gives you something you can copy, paste, and send in seconds. The difference is night and day, and it's all in the details you provide.
All right, so we know how to use it. We know how to get great results. Now, we need to talk about the dark side. Because with all this incredible power comes some pretty serious risks, and a lot of them are hidden just below the surface.
One of the biggest dangers is bias. And this is so important to understand. The AI isn't intentionally prejudiced. It's not evil. The bias gets baked in. Where does it come from? Well, first, the data we train it on. It's just a mirror of all our own historical biases and prejudices. Second, the way the algorithm is designed can actually amplify that unfairness. And third, well, look at who's building this stuff. A lack of diversity on development teams means a lack of perspectives. The AI just ends up reflecting our own human blind spots.
And here's the scary part. If we don't actively fight this, the AI doesn't just copy our existing social problems, it puts them on steroids. It can amplify them, making biased decisions millions of times a second and locking in harmful stereotypes for years to come.
So let's make this really personal. When we talk about privacy, we're talking about a data breach where your private info gets stolen. When we talk about bias, we mean an algorithm might unfairly deny you a job or a loan. And misinformation? That's deepfakes and propaganda designed to trick you and tear apart the trust we have in anything. These are not abstract academic issues. They affect real people, you and me.
So faced with all these dangers, what's the number one, most crucial defense we have? It's one simple thing: human oversight. We have to, always keep a human in the loop. Someone who can step in, sanity check the AI, and pull the plug if needed. Just letting these things run wild without any human control, that is a recipe for absolute disaster. This idea is the bedrock of everything else.
Okay, so how do we fix this? The answer isn't to slam the brakes on technology. No way. It's about steering it in the right direction. We need to build responsibility and ethics right into the DNA of these systems, from day one. So let's talk about how to actually do that.
When it comes to fighting bias, there's a three-pronged attack. First, you have to fix the input. Garbage in, garbage out, right? So we need to feed it diverse, representative data, not just old, biased stuff. Second, you can tweak the algorithm itself, building in fairness-aware models. And third, and this might be the most important, you can't just set it and forget it. You have to constantly monitor these systems, auditing them for bias, because it can sneak back in when you're not looking.
And really, all these practical steps, they all grow from a few core ethical principles. We're talking about fairness, accountability, privacy, transparency, so we're not just dealing with a black box. And see that last one? It all circles right back to that key idea of keeping humans in control of the final decision.
And really, that's the main takeaway here. At the end of the day, AI is a tool. Yeah, it's an unbelievably powerful one, but it's still just a tool. The responsibility doesn't lie with the machine, it lies with us, the people who build it, manage it, use it, and regulate it. We are responsible for the impact it has on the world. So, that leaves us with one last massive question to chew on. If AI is the tool, who gets to write the user manual? Who decides what fair really means, or accountable? This isn't something we can just leave to the tech giants to figure out. This is a question for all of us, and it's a conversation that we all need to have, starting now.